Many of you who share with me some very personal moments in your life, which include the loss of pets. And of course, it reminds me that sooner or later I'm going to very much face that same loss. And today is that day. I've lost this Softique and Cuddly kitty, the original, which was a big part of the early years of this channel. For those of you who have been following me for well over 10 years now, you very much remember this cat. And this was known as Softique and Cuddly Kitty Part 1, the original. A very sad loss indeed, and it's tough, but it is part of life, sadly, to lose a beloved pet. And this pet was like family and a big part of this channel. I'm going to show you later on just how in so many different ways. A lot of good folks were asking about the kitties throughout the time on this channel. I haven't shown them as much lately in videos, mainly because they haven't been as interested in some of the items that I show. But nonetheless, part of it is they get older. And this cat is an example of a kitty that has gotten older. And so now I can reveal to you the actual name and sex of the kitty, as it's been a sort of a laughable secret for a long time. Softique and Cuddly Kitty Part 1, the original. It looks like a cross between a Holstein cow and a panda. Real name is Abby. Indeed a female. A feisty female indeed she was. Beloved, will be missed greatly, for sure. So my prayers and thoughts go out to any of you who have lost a pet in your life. And they are a part of our lives. They are family. And it is no small thing to lose a great pet. The legacy of the Softique and Cuddly Kitty Part 1, the original, aka Abby, is emboldened on silver, yes indeed, at least the representation thereof, on the salivate metal 2-ounce round. On the reverse of this piece is indeed the salivate metal coat of arms that is made up of two kitties here. Now, as you can see, the kitties are mirror images of one another, just for symmetry. But indeed, there is another cat. There are two cats in this household, and one is much smaller and much more lanky. And the Softique and Cuddly Kitty, number 1, the original, was fat and chubby. So we were very well offset and weighed this down to one side or the other. But Abby was the oldest of the two kitties by a long shot. She lived to be about 16 years, outlasting this channel by about 5 years. But nonetheless, it is indeed a legacy that lives on in a currently available silver round here, a 2-ounce silver round. But the very first salivate metal silver round here, there was no kitties, and it was a very simple design for the 1-ounce bullion version because it was all about silver. That's what this round was about. But I did a very limited run of what I call the Fortitude round. And as you can see here, it has security features, and this is a composite of both kitties into one cat, although this looks more like Softique and Cuddly Kitty Part 2, the sequel. But nonetheless, the sequel continues to live on, indeed, today. And but you can see that the message here, instead of multitude of gratitude, it's a play on words. A multitude of fortitude, as opposed to fortitude. Yes, indeed. The Fortitude rounds were fairly popular back in the day. They were a limited run, no longer available. But indeed, this was a tribute to the cats, which were such a big part of the channel for so long. Now, if we look at the other side, we can see a larger example of the coat of arms for the channel there. And you can see those cats there, they are. And again, for the reasons I've mentioned before, why they are not indeed accurate representations, because it would be well off center. But there they are. There they are. So cats were a big part of the channel. Of course, in later years, the channel's focus has kind of shifted a bit. But nonetheless, we still hold true to the original purpose and the spirit, indeed, as the kitties are still asked about and referenced many times on the channel, even though I may not show footage of them as much. Of course, I kind of wish I had more footage of the of the original Softique and Cuddly kitty, Abby, but I do not. So just a little history behind here. The second cat continues to live on, thankfully, but I just wanted to give a little background. This video is kind of tough to do, but thank you guys so much for your support over the years. It's a tough loss for sure. So a multitude of gratitude, a multitude of fortitude to you all.